But anyways, we're gonna start focusing here on this game. I believe this is... Okay, let me actually get this popped up here. Yeah, I need to kind of prep myself. I believe it looks like we have both teams in. So Stryker Spice is going to be Solar Eclipse, Scum to Plug, and then Fatal Shadow, I want to say, is their third. And then for Allusioin, Weeping Angels, we have Andrew McCor, Primal Beast, and then Freaky Asian Boy. Those are going to be the two teams right there. It looks like there's an extra person in this lobby, so I'm not too sure who that is. It might be one of the subs for one of these teams. Yeah, I believe Sunny Slams is a sub for Stryker Spice. So we'll see if he ends up getting any playtime at all with this. If I'm not mistaken, this is week 7 here of the league. These teams' records, based off of paper, it looks like Stryker Spice does have the advantage. I believe they are currently 3-3 on the season, while Allusioin Weeping Pigs here, or sorry, Allusioin Weeping Angels, I don't know why I just said pigs. They are currently 1-5 in the season, so they're looking to turn things around as the season kind of comes to closer to the end here. So we'll see what happens. Once these guys join the lobby, we'll kind of, spectate, see what happens here. Hopefully we have a nice, tight series. We're going to try to stay unbiased here, but obviously we are rooting for Stryker Splice here. We got to support our boy, Solar, but we're going to try to keep the commentary neutral as can be, alright? But yeah, once these guys are ready, they might be waiting to the hour. I believe the game was scheduled for 6 o'clock, so they got 4 minutes till that time hits. Everyone just kind of, maybe running through their game plans, trying to be mentally prepared. Oh no, I definitely try to be. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna lie. There are a lot of commentators for specific teams that are heavily biased towards their teams. And I understand it, but it makes it so annoying to listen to sometimes. And that's one thing I loved about Vince Scully, and even Joe Kelly, just the same way. The way they commentate is very unbiased. Obviously, there's a little bit more hype when the Dodgers score, but in general, it's not like they're trash talking the other team. And I genuinely see that from other professional commentators, and it actually drives me wild. Let's make sure I'm nice and hydrated here too. Bro, they meant ride the fuck out of... Oh, they ride the fuck out of Patrick Mahomes. Joe Buccametis. Alright. Looks like we have our teams slowly jumping in here. Let me actually get the music down and get the game sound a little bit higher here. I don't think I've even had any game volume on this entire time. But here we go. Game 1 happening. This is going to be a best of 5. So let's see what happens here. And I may be saying colors a little bit more often than I say team names, just because I'm getting a little bit more used to these team names. But we do have Stryker Splice in orange. Well, we have the Weeping Angels on the blue half of the field. And it does look like Stryker Splice here is going to have the first possession of the ball. Fatal, though, with a little bit of a whiff, is going to allow blue to take their first possession of the game. But Sunny gets the dunk over one. In the center, straight over to Shadow. It looks like it might creep in the net, and surely it does. And it looks like just 30 seconds into game 1, we already have a lead coming out for Stryker Splice. Plenty of time, though. Lots of action to be had here in this series, as well as just this individual game. Primal Beast going to send it into his own corner. Gets it around 1. Andrew kind of flips it up. Primal Beast unable to make contact and follow things through. Sunny Slam is going to be able to take advantage as he goes up for double tap, but just misses. Solar Eclipse, though, able to keep the ball in the blue half here as they continue to mount some pressure here as they try to secure their second goal and extend their lead. Sunny Slams with a great touch midfield, and surely he is going to score once again. Almost another 30 seconds here have passed. Just a little bit above 4 minutes remaining here in game 1, and right now it seems like all the momentum in favor of Stryker Splice. Lots of time, though, here Freaky wins the kickoff, but it goes straight toward the orange players. Fatal misses a touch in the corner. Solar with quite a bit of space to work with. He gets it around one, but no one really to follow up. Andrew gets a dunk into midfield, but Sunny Slam should have a touch back in the blue half. He's going to take it up the corner. He gets the ball centered. Can Solar Eclipse get in time? He is met by Andrew as the ball goes safely to the corner, but Sunny Slams puts another shot off. A very difficult angle to hit, but once again, 30 seconds. Seems like right now, every 30 seconds we are getting a goal in favor of Stryker Splice here. Is that a hat trick already? It's one away from a hat trick. One away from a hat trick. Solar Eclipse, though, trying to put on another goal here of himself. Sunny Slam tries to go for the aerial. Andrew, though, able to make contact. Freaky gonna send this ball down the field. Unable to get it to a teammate, though, as this ball kind of lingers in the corner. Freaky Boy gets a touch towards center, above the crossbar, and Solar Eclipse with the backboard defense gets the clear to the side. Andrew gets one tap up. Can they finish things here? Not in a very good place for a shot, though, unfortunately, and a huge dunk coming out from Stryker Splice. Freaky Boy in a bit of an awkward position and unable to get the save here, and once again, the trend continues. We are now an even 2 minutes into game one right here, and they're averaging exactly 30 seconds per goal. Eclipse getting his first goal of this series. All the work being spread around by all these players here on the orange half. Andrew tries to get the center, but gets beat out by Solar. Freaky gets a nice 50, and this looks like this will be the first one coming out for Weeping Angels. A really nice 50 coming out from Freaky Asian Boy. Gets the dunk, and it goes straight to Primal Beast, who just beats out Sunny Slams. And with a very quick response here, this is a very doable game to come back from. Still plenty more time on this. More than half the game to go with 2:50 on the clock. Solar gonna take possession. He goes for the slow play with a little bit of an air dribble. Loses the ball, though, and it goes straight to Andrew, but a great save coming out from Fatal. Sunny, a little bit of a misread on the ball there along the wall. Primal gonna try to get possession as he takes it back into his corner. Hits it out center, but no second man to really follow things up. This should be a free touch here for Stryker Splice. Sunny gets a pretty nice 50 as well, but once again, not really a second man on either team here to follow things up for their first man. We'll see if either of these teams could potentially tighten the rotations here a little bit. But right now, it looks like the momentum may slowly be shifting in favor once again of Stryker Splice as they do gain possession. But Weeping Angels gets a nice clear into the orange half. Ball goes into their corner. Andrew goes up. Soft tap off the sidewall here. Not really much that the rest of blue team can follow and do. A double tap. A little bit of a scary double tap coming out from blue team, but I don't think either player on either side of this field was expecting that. So luckily they end up getting without another score against them here. Sunny Slam gonna try to take possession. Gets met in the corner for a 50. Primal gets another strong 50 himself. Andrew's up for the shot, but it's a light tap. No one gonna be able to follow this one up. Freaky, who stays back as their third, does get a nice 50 midfield. But it does look like Sunny Slams may have another scoring opportunity, but shoots just a little high and wide of the net here. Solar Eclipse going for his air dribbles once again. He gets the pass out. A great pass to Fatal, but rejected by the crossbar. Bit of an unfortunate opportunity right there, but with a minute left to go, I don't think they'll need that goal with only with a 3-goal lead still intact for them. Weeping Angels trying their best to make some sort of comeback, or at least build some more momentum for the next game. But Fatal gonna be able to respond to that first goal, and the lead does go back to 4. Surely that is the nail in the coffin here for game one. Very nice effort there by Fatal. So 46 seconds. This game is pretty much set in the books. Once again, this is a best of 5. This is only game one, so a lot of time for Allusioin Weeping Angels to kind of come back here. There's not too much pressure. But they're definitely going to want to tighten up their defense a little bit. I feel like they've definitely had some opportunities to reject some of these goals that Stryker Splice has secured. but just due to awkward positioning and maybe a little bit of lack of mechanics, you know, unable to send the ball off to the side. And sure enough, we may actually have a chance for a Brazil here in our first game as Sonny slams. I believe that's his 4th goal? No, so that is his hat trick right there. For some reason I thought that was his 4th goal, but he does get the hat trick. Is it laggy? I don't. It looks pretty good on my end, but if it's laggy for anyone else, please let me know. Yes, we do get the hat trick here in game 1. Game 1 being all in favor of Stryker Splice here. We'll see if they can continue this dominance throughout games 2 and 3. But as the ball lands, we will move on. We will reset ourselves and be back at a clean slate here. We'll see if Weeping Angels can make the adjustments necessary to change the tide of this game here. Bit of a slow start, but they kind of held their grounds during the middle portion of the games, but they kind of started to fall off just a little bit towards the end. But as you can see on the scoreboard, all the work being spread out between everybody on Stryker Splice. Andrew McCord doing the majority of the defense here for Weeping Angels. So we'll see if they can potentially balance things out between the players, and there won't have to be so much weight being carried here by Andrew. But we are entering game 2 now. Orange, aka Stryker Splice, with a 1-goal lead. Solar with a huge kickoff dunk. That might just go straight in, but no, it's just wide, and unfortunately Solar cannot get the read off the wall there. Almost another very quick goal coming out for Stryker Splice. Andrew, though, beats out 2 defenders, but once again, no second man really to support him. Freaky gonna try to get this out of the blue half here. He's dribbling. He gets around to 1 again, but scum to plug. There to put it right back in the blue half, but he is taken out of the play here. I do feel like as of right now, Weeping Angels is looking a little bit slow to challenges right now. As I was mentioning the last game, I feel like their second man is playing a little bit too far away from their first man. So anytime first man either wins the challenge or even like has a neutral challenge, there's not really anybody there to follow things up. If they're able to tighten that rotation between first and second man, I think they'll be able to apply a little bit more pressure and offense onto the blue half here. But we'll see if these adjustments can be made. Solar Eclipse eliminating one of the blue players off the field. Trying to relieve some pressure as off the kickoff, this ball has just been roaming in the orange half here. Solar Eclipse once again with a lot of room. Even on defense, it seems like blue is giving a lot of space to the orange side here. I'm not too familiar with the other players outside of Solar on Stryker Splice, but we do know that Solar has quite a bit of mechanics, so if he's given that space, he is going to try to use those mechs in his favor. Primal Beast, though, with a great clear here to the side. Scum to plug, though, meets him at midfield for a 50. Primal does have the advantage with that 50, though. Andrew gonna come out, gets a nice 50 towards the corner. Freaky tries to get a shot off, but blocked, and luckily the ball goes sailing above the crossbar. We are seeing a little bit more offense, though, coming out from Weeping Angels, so this is looking to be good in their favor. Primal Beast gets the clear, but it looks like Solar Eclipse should have a free touch. Andrew gets the 50 back towards midfield, but Freaky Asian gonna have to take it into his own corner. A little bit awkward as the ball slides a little bit far away from the wall. He tries to dribble it towards the center, but a very scary decision, especially with no one following him up. And Scum to plug gonna be able to take advantage of this free centered ball that Freaky gives. This is what I'm kind of talking about. You can see both defenders there, second and third man, essentially guarding the same area. Second man needs to be playing a little bit closer. That way he can support that dribble and get that block or that pinch off if needed. Fatal Shadow gonna add to the lead already, and we are only 2 minutes into this game. And once again, we see an early 3-0 lead in favor of Stryker Splice. So all the momentum right now going in favor of Orange Team. Still tons of time, though. If there's anything that Blue Team can look at and stay positive about. It's the fact that there's still 3 minutes. They only need to average about a minute per goal here. Remember, if Stryker Splice can do this, so can Weeping Angels. But they, as I mentioned, they need to tighten those rotations. They need their second man to play just a little bit more aggressively. And then the unfortunate back pass, which ends up being an own goal. I don't think this was intentional at all. Just a very unfortunate mishap as this ball sails across the field and bounces between both players. And just like that, we are at a 4-goal lead at the halfway marker of game 2 right here. Very unfortunate. You know that's got to be playing with the heads, and Solar Eclipse just going to add on to this lead. And this has just been an absolute dominant performance so far coming out from Stryker Splice. A really, really nice touch actually coming out from Solar to get that target, that shot on target with enough power. Still tons of time though. This is doable. They just need to repeat the exact same things that Stryker Splice is doing. Give them a little taste of their own medicine. And Allusioin Weeping Angels can start making the comeback, but they need to make those adjustments. Primal with a really nice block, a nice 50 off the backboard. Andrew gonna try to hit it towards the net, but just goes straight towards the defenders here. He had a little bit of space to work with. Probably should have taken advantage of that. He does maintain possession though as he hits it around towards the orange corner. Solar Eclipse gonna take possession though here for Stryker Splice. Fatal Shadow trying to go up. Does get a touch and it does go back towards his teammate. So once again we see Stryker Splice with possession of the ball. Shot after the shot. At this point, it looks like we may see a goal 6 coming out very soon. Eclipse almost had one right there. A very tough read from that waterfall off the backboard. Skim to plug. It's a huge save, though, for Orange. And Fatal Shadow. At this point, it's just a lot of Stryker Splice essentially outpacing the speed coming out from Weeping Angels. Andrew gets it around 1. He's had some pretty decent ground game throughout this series so far, but again, it's been very tough for anything to come about from it because there just has not been any teammate there to follow up a lot of his touches, a lot of his challenges. And Andrew, a bit of a weak touch. I think he's trying to get a power shot off that bounce, but actually hits it a little bit too early. Gets a bit of a weak soft touch towards the corner, and Stryker Splice going to be able to take possession and score once again. That will be a hat trick, this time in favor of Solar Eclipse. With just tons of offense happening for Stryker Splice here. Wait, see, I think you're telling me to do that to get rid of the names on the bottom, which, you know, would probably be better, but because I don't know these players, I'm just kind of keeping that there because it's just kind of helping me familiarize myself with who's on whose team. But I do appreciate it. Like, literally the only player I really know here is Solar Eclipse. Outside of that, everybody, we're slowly kind of acclimating ourselves, getting ourselves familiar with over here. But that should be it here for game 2. Looks like Stryker Splice is aiming for the sweep. And right now, it's looking like it's going to happen, as through the first 2 games, we have Stryker Splice outscoring the opposition, I believe 12-1. I don't think they got the Brazil that last game. I want to say it was also a 6-1 lead, but I could be mistaken on that. But there's still a chance. There is still a chance here. Will we see the Pews? Can they pull out the reverse sweep? It's never over till it's over. Each game starts at 0-0. Back to an even playing field here. But Weeping Angels needs to tighten those rotations. They need their second man to support their first man more. That's like by far been the biggest thing. Their second man has essentially been playing too far back, so at this point they've basically had 2 third mans and only 1 first man. So unless the first man is able to outplay the entire team, it's just not going to work out with that sort of strategy. Weeping Angels, though, they start off this game with a bit of a fake kickoff, it seemed, and it's actually going to work in their favor. Andrew with a huge 50-50 towards the backboard, goes straight towards Primal Beast. And just like that, we see Weeping Angels with their first lead this series. Now all they have to do is maintain that lead. Although, with how many goals Stryker Splice has been scoring, they're probably going to want to add more to that on the leaderboard. Solar Eclipse tries to get out round 1. But you can see there, they're playing the second man a little bit closer. They're able to kind of follow each other's touches at this point. As long as their third man isn't pushing too aggressively, keeps himself in the right spot, they should be able to maintain a little bit more possession. A little bit more pressure here. Andrew gets a hit off 1. Unable to follow things up, though. Freaky should have a free tap here as he gets a huge clear. Looks like he might be able to follow things up here, but Solar Eclipse with a nice quick challenge as they regain possession here. Solar Eclipse, a little bit of a double commit, but Solar Eclipse does recognize it as he lets off the ball. Ball kind of lingering around midfield currently. Solar Eclipse, though, going to win a huge challenge as he takes it towards the corner. He's going to steal the boost as well. Will he go from the ceiling? Surely he does. Gets 1, is unable to get the double tap, but does not matter. It ends up being a great center towards Sunny Slams. And just a little underneath a minute 20 into game 3 here, we have things all evened up. Very, very nice solo effort right there by Solar Eclipse to set up Sunny. But Weeping Angels definitely looking better this game. Let's see if they can continue it. Let's see if they can add and regain that lead. Solar Eclipse goes for the clear. He does get it around 1. Sunny Slams with a very quick follow-up. But he is met with a huge 50-50 in the corner. Fatal Shadow. I don't know why I keep on wanting to say Fatal Shower, but... Sunny Slams taking it up from center field. He gets it around 1, gets the bump, and is actually able to get the ball into the net still, even with that bump right there. Sunny Slams getting his second goal here of the game. And now we see the tide already going back in favor of Stryker Splice. Fatal Shadow, though. He's going to take it up the side here. Is there anyone from blue team that'll follow this up this ball? No challenge comes out as they all retreat back into a defensive reset. No backboard defense coming out either at that position, which is also kind of an interesting choice. Especially with all 3 players back. There's no one really challenging. Everyone was kind of staying grounded there. Fatal Shadow. He misses his first touch. Solar Eclipse, though, going to take it up and air dribble it into a third goal as he gets his first of game 3 here. Probably want to put the game series back up there, right? Whoops. Hey, you know, some of those showers can be very lethal, okay? You accidentally put that water too hot, it's going to burn you, alright? It's going to burn. And right now, that's what Fatal Shadows is doing. He is just absolutely burning blue team over here. The entire squad. It's a very well-rounded, balanced team that Stryker Splice has here. As Fatal Shadow going to be able to maintain possession. Gives the back pass towards Sunny. Sunny has a ton of room to work with. A little bit of an awkward bounce, though, off the ceiling. Andrew able to get the 50-50 and keep the ball in the orange half. Fatal Shadow gets it around 1, but a nice touch to the corner coming out from Andrew. Andrew once again with a nice block to send it right back into the corner. But a whiff coming out here from Freaky. Andrew with a huge challenge midfield. Ball climbing up the sidewall here. But once again, it's looking like the speed, the pacing of Stryker Splice is just completely outdoing that of Weeping Angels. And another whiff coming out here. This is going to put Andrew in a very awkward spot. Just a very, very unfortunate misread off the backboard here. As Primal not able to follow things up. I'm pretty sure Andrew was thinking at least either of those two players was going to make contact with the ball, and unfortunately he starts pulling forward, and unfortunately the ball goes right behind him. And we have seen a lot of 3-goal leads in favor of Stryker Splice this series, and surely we have another one right here. There is no L in Stryker Spice, as they are putting on display. This is true. This is very true. But Andrew, trying to get the solo play, almost gets the flick around all 3 defenders. Luckily, Orange just able to avoid a goal right there. Luckily, they do have the cushion. Even if that one does go through, Andrew really wishing that one would have gone in, as time is ticking. As we are now under less than a minute to go, and Freaky with an interesting back pass there. A bit of a panic. It didn't look like anyone was really challenging the ball at that moment. I believe he could have just kind of carried this ball and just dribbled it out, but a little bit of a panic jump sends the ball right over to Solar, and Solar is going to send it right above Andrew for the 5th goal here for Stryker Splice. With 45 seconds left, it is still possible, but unfortunately very unlikely at this point. We have seen an average of less than a goal currently per game. So unless things somehow click and click extremely fast, the series is pretty much all finished. And this is essentially a victory lap, is Stryker Splice just basically killing time. They don't need to score anymore. They're ready to conclude this series and enjoy the rest of their evenings. Enjoy the rest of their Sunday nights, as they are going to finish off their weekends with a huge dub here. And surely there we are. The 3-0 sweep. Not too far away from a perfect sweep, as they only gave up 2 goals the entire series. A crazy series here, as they outscored their opponents a total of 17 goals to 2 throughout the entirety of the 3 games. So a very, very dominant performance coming out from Stryker Splice here. GG's to both teams. Hopefully if Weeping Angels is there, I feel like if they're able to just build a little more consistency of avoiding some of those whiffs and just tightening up the rotations, having a closer second man, I do think that they can turn things around. But until they start playing a little bit more aggressive, it's going to be tough to play and, you know, really contend with a team that's just challenging faster, that's going to be able to get to the ball faster, whether it's as first man or as second man. So GG's. GG's there to both teams. Scoodle, thank you so much for the sub. Much love as always, dude. I always appreciate it. You never have to do that, but I thank you very, very much for that. But yeah, that is our series for the night. Good jobs to both teams. Our boy Solar, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to cast that series. You guys played insanely well. But, you know, hopefully the other teams listen in so they can get a little bit of advice and hopefully kind of adjust their play style. I don't know how many more weeks are left in the season for this league, but I hope that they can still turn things around.